Welcome to What's That About Podcast, investigative journalism on trending topics with the urban perspective. We also cover some topics that aren't trending if they need to be addressed. I'm not only your host, I'm also your brother. I am Brother Nice. Today we will be discussing black fashion labels and why don't they get the same love and support from us as a Gucci or a Louis Vuitton. So the purpose of this video is to bring awareness to black fashion designers and black fashion labels. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe it's just an awareness issue. Maybe we don't know who they are or where to purchase their clothing. So maybe we can educate each other with this video. Now, speaking of black fashion labels, I don't know if you can see the shirt I'm rocking. This is Chris Brown's clothing label. It's called Black Pyramid. So make sure you support C Breezy. Now, when you think about it, when we see our favorite rappers or athletes, they're normally wearing Dior. And if they're not wearing Dior, they're wearing Givenchy. And if they're not wearing Givenchy, they're wearing Louis. And if they're not wearing Louis, then they're wearing Gucci. Now, speaking of Gucci, rapper Jim Jones was shopping at a Gucci store.
We've been in Gucci for about an hour, right? And we in Gucci in the VIP.
We've been in Gucci for like 2 hours.
Right? Since we came in here, having nobody came and showed us no courtesy, no amenities, no nothing. Period. Not even a drink of water. Asked to speak to the manager. Send me a black guy out here that started telling me some bullshit. So they got the black guy racial profiling on black people. Asked to speak to a manager bigger than him. Everybody disappeared. Ain't nobody come out yet. I still ain't getting no sparkling water. I still ain't getting no champagne. I still ain't getting nothing. I didn't even have a salesperson inside of my VIP suite the whole time I was there. I had to keep screaming for VIP people to help me out. Now everybody don't know where the real manager is. You heard? I'm tired of this. We spending all this money as entertainers inside these stores. They hire these black people, and these black people are more racist than white people when they get their job inside of Gucci. All of a sudden, you stop playing with us, bro. Still haven't seen a manager yet. Still haven't seen a manager yet. Since I'm talking to you right now, a manager still hasn't popped out of Gucci. And the bill is like $29,000, but we didn't pay that yet. You heard? Why would we? They still haven't sent a manager or bottle of sparkling water or anything that says that we appreciate your service for being in here in Gucci and spending that bag.
The big one.
The big one. They sent this guy.
Yeah, nah.
What is he possibly going to do? You heard? What is he going to do? Is what I want to know. Still haven't seen a manager. Is there a manager that works here or everybody's just a worker?
Jim, you my brother. Let me say that off the rip because anytime we've ever crossed paths here in the city, it's been nothing but love. So I say this with love. But if you're feeling disrespected, if you're feeling discriminated against, why stay there in that store, put them people on blast, and still wait to spend $29,000 with them folks? I'm going to keep it a buck. I feel like when we do this, they look at us like we're stupid. And I'm going to take it a step further. Can I be honest with y'all? I'm going to keep it all the way funky. Gucci really don't want rappers in their store. And let me tell you why. Gucci is more concerned with staying loyal to their original customer base. And their original customer base is going to feel intimidated about coming into the store to shop when it's 5 to 10 black dudes with their pants hanging off their ass wearing big chains. No matter how much money these rappers spend in the store, Gucci is more concerned with staying loyal to their customer base. And let me tell you the funny part. The funny part is, I'm not even mad at Gucci. Do you know why I'm not mad at Gucci? Because it's their store. They can cater to whoever they want to, but it's up to us to not tolerate the disrespect. And people, let me say this to you. If you're ever out shopping anywhere and you feel disrespected, just leave. Don't stay there and spend your money with that business. Because if you stay there and still spend your money with that business after being disrespected, you know what you're doing? You are encouraging their behavior. Think about that. What's the incentive to change their behavior if they can disrespect you and you still gonna stay there in that store and spend your money? Now, Keep this in mind. Gucci is the same clothing label that just 3 years ago in 2019 came out with the Blackface Campaign. Do y'all remember this foolishness right here? The Blackface Campaign. This was in 2019, 3 years ago, not 1960, 2019. Just 3 years ago, they came out with this Blackface Campaign and thought it was cool. Now, some of us was offended, and I specify some of us, because some of us just kept wearing Gucci like it never happened. But to those that was offended, Gucci tried to do some damage control. So first, they issued an apology. Then they hired my man, Dapper Dan. Now, shout out to Dapper Dan because he is a New York City icon and legend. He has been putting in work in his fashion business for years, so he deserves his flowers. I just hate that his opportunity with Gucci came on the back end of them doing damage control for having a blackface campaign. Now, let me also say this to you. Black people, we have $1.6 trillion worth of spending power. This is not speculation. This is not a rumor. This is documented fact. We have $1.6 trillion worth of spending power. Out of that $1.6 trillion, how much do you think we spend on designer clothes? Now, I did my homework, I did some research, and I still found no definite answer. So I Googled which race of people spend the most money on clothes. And the answer was blacks and Hispanics. Now, I understand it's in our culture. We love to get fly. We love to throw that drip on. We love to shine. And there's nothing wrong with that. But out of every race of people, it's us that spends the most money on clothes. I think that's something that needs to be looked into. Now, the other day I was watching a podcast that had Bun B on it. Shout out to UGK. Rest in peace to Pimp C. But Bun B says something that I found very interesting. He said, if you notice, the richer Jay-Z gets, the broker Jay-Z looks. Think about that. Look at how Jay-Z used to dress. And look at how Jay-Z dresses now. Do you know why that is? It's because Jay-Z started hanging out with billionaires that dress like this. Do you see where I'm going with this? It's crazy how the people with money do their best to look like they don't have money. And the people who don't have money do their best to look like they got money. That's an ill dichotomy. Now, I'm going to keep this video short, but before I end it, I want to make you aware of some black fashion labels. And I also want to make you aware of a good friend of mine, my brother that's here in Brooklyn. We call him Q. He has his own black clothing label and his own store here in downtown Brooklyn. Now, this is not only my brother, this is also a really good friend, my man Q. He has his own clothing label and his own store, and they are both named Brooklyn Circus. It's located right here in downtown Brooklyn. So if you're in the New York City area, feel free to stop through, show some love and support, and let them know Brother Nice sent you. And if you're not in the New York City area, still go to the website and buy some clothes. Now, I will give you Cosmopolitan's top 10 black designer list. And if you're anything like me, you probably haven't heard of most of these designers. But the good part is today we get introduced to them. So at number 1, we have Kirby Raymond. His brand is Prior Moss. Founded in 2013, the Haitian designer started off with menswear before expanding into women'swear. And he's only gotten more buzz. Lil Nas X, Issa Rae, and Tracy Ellis Ross have all worn his pieces. Kirby Raymond. Let's get familiar with his work. Now, at number 2, we have Aurora James. Wow, she a cutie too. Hold up, am I still allowed to say a woman is cute? I mean, I want to make sure because I'm new to YouTube, so I don't want to get canceled. before y'all even subscribe. But at number 2, we have Aurora James. Her brand is Brother Billy's. James is also the creator of the 15% Pledge, which launched this year to give more shelf space to black businesses in retail stores in response to the Black Lives Matter movement. Aurora James. Let's get familiar with her work. Next, at number 3, we have Telfar Clemens. His brand is Telfar. His popular purse design with the signature logo have been dubbed the Bushwick Birkin. Telfar's designs are unisex, and he's championed gender-neutral clothing. Telfar Clemens. Get familiar with his work. At number 4, we have Romeo Hunt. His brand is Romeo Hunt. Michelle Obama, Zendaya, Beyonce, Sweetie, Keke Palmer have all worn Hunt's designs. His outerwear definitely makes a statement, and he's known for using the buffalo check pattern in many of his clothes. Romeo Hunt. Let's get familiar with his work. At number 5, we have Carly Cushney, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Her brand is Cushney. Designed Carla Cushney's sleek styles have been worn by the likes of Jennifer Lopez, Ashley Graham, and Lupita Nyong'o. By the way, her streamlined silhouettes and lush fabrics combined make real wow pieces in your closet. Carly Cushney. Let's get familiar with her work. At number 6, we have Laquan Smith. He's a real celeb fave. The proof is Rihanna, Beyonce, and so many more have worn his pieces. Basically, go to Laquan Smith for all your glam and or sexy outfit needs. Laquan Smith. Let's get familiar with his work. At number 7, we have Riri, and her brands are Fenty and Savage X Fenty. Yes, you already know Riri, and she has not one but 2 lines. Savage X Fenty has affordable and size-inclusive lingerie, and Fenty is super upscale with the latter's lunch. She was the first woman and the first black woman to helm her own original brand at LVMH. If we're not already familiar, let's get familiar with Rihanna. At number 8, we have Christopher John Rogers, and his brand is Christopher John Rogers. His runway shoes are consistently the talk of New York's Fashion Week, with the exuberance and amazing styling. At just 26 years old, the Louisiana designer has already dressed high-profile ladies like Michelle Obama and Cardi B. Christopher John Rogers. Let's get familiar with his work. At number 9, we have Fiel Noel. Beautiful robes, swimsuits, and ready-to-wear from designer Fiel Noel will literally make your life a happier place. You'll fall in love with the stunning, vacation-worthy prints, like the one on the robe she's wearing here. Fiel Noel. You already know what I'm about to say. Let's get familiar with her work. And last, but certainly not least, at the number 10 spot, we have the New York City icon, my man, Dapper Dan. Now, I'm going to be honest, I got a little issue with this list because I thought Rihanna and Dapper Dan would be ranked higher, but that's another story. Anyway, let me read his bio off the laptop because it's a little longer. The Harlem designer has his own atelier where he creates his made-to-order designs, which are particularly synonymous with the hip-hop stars of the 80s and 90s. He's known for reworking design logos into his clothes and has collaborated with Gucci. He even has a memoir out where he talks about his experience as a black designer and how it made him his now famous store on 125th Street. Dapper Dan. If you're not familiar with his work, let's get familiar with his work. There you have it. Cosmopolitan's top 10 black designers. Let's make sure we support them. Now, this is my very first YouTube video with many, many more to come. So make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe. And remember, I'm not only your host, I'm also your brother. I am Brother Nice. Peace, love, and progress.